Hello and welcome to a beautiful morning on the Isle of Mull. I'm out here with my brother just on a little 4-day excursion, and I've come down to this beautiful beach just at about low tide. The moon has risen, the sun has not yet risen, it's about 5 in the morning, and the beach is actually still completely wet and sort of saturated with the waning tide. So I was out here yesterday evening and I spotted these rocks. They caught my attention, so that's going to be my first subject for this morning. They're facing east, so hopefully they should get some of the morning light. Now I'm being quite careful not to step too close because I do want that pristine sand. There's no footprints, I'm the only one on the beach. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. Just a slight breeze in the air, but nothing to put me off. Going crazy in the wind. Right, so I have jumped up onto the rocks now, and I'm just honing in on that smaller part of the scene that I really like. And for me, it's this section here. It's smoothed over from all the washing of the ocean and that gentle erosion over thousands and thousands of years. So there's those sections higher up where it's sort of poking above the high tide line, and those are all quite jagged. So for me, I really like this bit because it shows the time and the relationship to the tides and where it is on the beach. So there's still some water sitting in some of these pools, and I've just made a frame with a sort of a collection of 3 of those pools and some of that rolling, wavy rock, if you like. Right, I just grabbed another few shots speaking about sort of the change in the rock formations depending on where it is versus the high tide line. I spoke about it and then I thought, well, let's try and make an image of it. So that's what I've been doing for the last about 10 minutes. And just trying to get low so that I can get both the smooth over rocks and the sort of more jagged rocks in the same shot. And I think that turned out quite well. It's sort of a longer focal length, more abstract, but I quite like that. And so as I speak, really, the sun is just coming over the horizon, and yeah, some of these clouds are now catching some nice light. So I think I'm going to make my way further down the beach and explore some different rock formations and see maybe if I can get some nice sand patterns in the foreground perhaps. But yeah, otherwise, what a beautiful morning, and yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Happy that I got out of bed at an ungodly hour. Anyway, yeah, let's run off further down the beach now. I found a second subject here, and it's sort of just what I was looking for, with the interplay between some sand formation, sand patterns, and these really cool rock formations. Luckily, there's no birds or anything that have stood in the sand, so it's absolutely pristine. And there's this wonderful sort of quite harsh line as the sand and the rock meet, and this particular set of rocks is quite black, so there's a beautiful contrast between those two things. And yeah, we're just getting a touch of that morning glow over the horizon, and yeah, it's giving the scene shape and three-dimensionality. So I'm shooting at about 40 or 50 mil, and just putting about a third of the scene with the sand and then the rest of it with the rock. And the rocks are going in this beautiful diagonal fashion, so the scene feels like it has real dynamism. And as I speak, there's actually a touch of rain coming. This is entirely unexpected. Anyway, I'm gonna keep focusing on this and show you the image when I'm done. That sort of pre-sunrise glow is slowly turning into beautiful golden hour light. So I'm going to shift focus from some of these more intimate scenes, which I think work really well with that soft, calm light. And I think there might be one sort of wider grand landscape view from one of these little hills just over there behind me. I think it might be a high tide shot though, so I might not be able to get that photograph on this particular trip, but nonetheless I'm gonna go and have a look and see if the composition even works in the first place. So I can always just mark it down and come back and revisit. This is, yeah, one of the most remarkable beaches with these rock formations just sort of growing straight out the sand like this, so definitely one to revisit regardless. Right, let's go and see about this wider view, and if the sun comes back, as you can see it's just faded. The low tides meant the wider scene was full of distractions, and so I just enjoyed the light and the morning solitude. I would spend the next 3 days exploring the island with its gnarly oak forests and stunning geology. It is somewhere I hope to return to in the future.